Hi, Kathy here from Kathy's Cute Creations. Today we're going to continue on the My Quilt coming out of a Quilter's Diary book. Let me, stand my book up here. And Sherry has picked out the square to make because she wanted to, and it is based on the cutting that she did, I think it was last week, was it Saturday? And we are making, we're going to change the name of it. We're making Mama's teacup right there, but we're calling it Sherry's teacup. Here it is, one of them finished already. That's how we're going to make it. We did not make the handle difficult. I made it super duper easy for y'all. So let's get started. First thing that you're going to do is you're going to cut your fabric out. I went ahead and made it by the directions in the book. You're going to, and you can make it any size you want now, okay? Our little corner units here. There we go. Let me back them up so you can see them. Almost got the light too bright. Oh, let me turn this light off. See if that will help. There we go. Okay, so you're going to mark the, there we go. All four of them now. Got four, and mine are, let's see, what are they? They are 1.5 by 1.5 inch squares. And I have the yellow strip, which is going to be the bottom part. Yes?
Why is she whining?
I don't know. She wants attention, I guess. We're going to put it at the bottom like this. I'm going to show you real quick, just like this. And then we're going to sew it. There we go. I got to get back. For some reason, that camera wants to keep adjusting, which is washing it out. There you go. So I'll show you down here on the table. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to use red yarn this time for the handle. I used embroidery thread for the handle. So let's take a look at this. Alrighty, so without telling you the actual sizes, let me show you how you can make this. First thing you do, decide on what size square you want. Okay? Then, you're going to put a bottom on it. This is the bottom of the teacup, just like that. And I'm just going to walk you through it real quick here. You want to add on to the width of your strip 2 inches, because it's 1 inch from here and it's 1 inch from there. So you want an inch overlay, inch overlay. The bottom is this one. I'm going to just looking at it. I say 1.5 inches, but you can make it bigger depending on this, which is what the cup is. All right, so that's that for starters. Then what you want to do, because we're going to make a cup first, so you're going to make your sides to the cup the same, whatever. Let's say you've got a 5 inch square here. Then these are going to be 5 inches long, and you can make it 1.5, 1 3/4. Because that's what you're trying to do, is balance out your cup. I would make it 1 3/4. You're going to have it on each side because we're going to sew these two together. We're going to put, and this is called snowballing, because if you put this in the corner, you're going to stitch it across there. We're going to flip it like that, this way, so it's the bottom down there, okay? And it'll all fit together once it's sewn on there. And then we're going to do the same thing with the bottom down here. Before you sew these on, so we're going to do all these little corners first. Put a corner here, and then flip it like that. Same with here, flip it like that. So it's gonna look like that. And then the top is just gonna go across after you've put these two on, and then you can measure your top. Okay, so that's how you get it without me giving you the actual size, okay? So first we're gonna do all of these little snowballs. And like I said, I'm gonna use yarn this time around, but you can use embroidery thread or anything you want. And I have my daughter in here, she's sitting, and she asked me, first she was gonna do that one of the blocks, and then I was gonna do the other block, but she asked me to go ahead and do the block, so I went ahead and did it.
Yeah, because, you know, it took an hour to cut out the strip, so gosh knows how long it would take for me to sew it together.
It would not have taken you very long. Oops, I forgot I'm still on zigzag. Peeps. Okay, I guess you know now how I sewed that other piece together. I zigzagged it, the handle, the embroidered piece. Now we're gonna... This is easy enough to do. It doesn't take long. I thought it would be easier to do all of these first. Don't start on the corner because your machine may grab that corner, so go and flip it when you sew it here so it's coming off the edge. Just take your time. I'll cut them in a minute. Now while I got this here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the square, which is the actual teapot. And if you want to be really good, after you're done, you can embroider the person whose teacup this is. Let's say that you made a few of them because you're representing yourself and your spouse or your significant other or somebody else. whoever drinks tea or coffee, you know, because I've taken a teacup and put coffee in it before. It doesn't make any difference. My grandma used to serve us kids. I never was a tea drinker, so except iced tea. So she always put our little bit of coffee in a teacup. She had those little see-through teacups. Y'all might know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so let's cut these, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take this, and I take my ruler, and all I'm going to do is put the 1/4 inch right along the seam. Make sure your finger's not in the way, and cut them both off. Make sure that you're cutting off the bottom now, and you're not accidentally cutting up here at the top. I did that when I first started out a couple of times, like, oh no, I had to make my whole entire thing over again. Okay, and then go ahead and do this other side while we got it here. Alrighty, so this is what you'll have when you're done. Now the next step is to put the sides on. Okay, this is why I was talking to you about the sides. So what we'll do is we'll just take it right sides together and we'll sew it. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim up this edge right here. That little bit right there, I'm just going to trim it. It's hanging off. I don't have any on the other side. It looks good. And then just take this. We're going to sew it on both sides just like that. And then we'll come back. Okay, so here we're going to sew this. I just got my length at 2.5, just normal, 12-inch needle, just like before. And I will definitely iron this open when I'm done before I put my next pieces on. Did anybody see that Becca hit 10,000? That was exciting. I am so happy for her. Oh my gosh, that was wonderful. And I've been off of YouTube for a while now, so I did not even know she's moving. I haven't even talked to her. I gotta get updated on that.
I'm in the double digits.
Alrighty, so this is done and this is done. We're going to sew this to that and this to this. But first, now you have two choices. I went ahead and I sewed this one on without putting the handle on it. If you do that, now I'll tell you what. If you do it, then you're going to want to take a seam out, push your yardage of your yarn up inside, because we're going to make a cup handle like that. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this off and do it a different way, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so when you take it apart, you got this, and this is what you do. You figure out where your cup handle is going to go. Well, you want to come down a little bit here, so we're going to pretend, and then you want to come a little bit above this here. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set this on there as if it was sewn. So it's a 1/4 inch, so I've buried a 1/4 inch of the bottom fabric, and it's like this, just like that. Okay. So keeping in mind, this is coming through this is going to be in the seam, and this won't. So I need about this much. We can always have a little bit more. Don't have less, but have more. And now what you want to do is, since it's going to be here, you know it, and it's going to be here, about like, let's make sure it's not too much of a hangover here, because otherwise I'm going to have way too much in my, let's go like this. There we go. Now, I'm going to take it and I'm going to tack it with a straight stitch right here and right here on this fabric on the right side. And then when I put this on and flip it over, it'll be buried underneath there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do first. Now just play with it yourself so you know what you're doing here. So if it was to be sewed on there, we're going to pretend using our pins as if it was sewed right here in this seam. I'm just going to act like it's right there so I can flip it and take a look at it. Okay, so let's turn it. Let me head of my pin's not in the way. Okay, and I flip it like this, and then I'm going to zigzag this handle, and you don't want it off this 1/4 inch, so it has to stay within your little strip here. So that is really good. That worked out. So now all I'm going to do is take this over there to the sewing machine, and I'm going to put my 1/4 inch strip, and then I'm going to flip it and iron it. Now this yarn is nothing special. This is just some cheap yarn I got at Walmart that I was making. You remember when we were doing the little Christmas projects? That's all it is. It's nothing fancy or expensive. You can use whatever thickness you want when it comes to this. You can get some fancy yarn too. Oh, I forgot to put my length up. Let's go up with a notch there. And if you feel like you got to pin it to keep it from moving, go ahead and pin it. And really, this is like you've sewed it on there twice. It's like a reinforcement because you've done it once already. All right, let's iron it open. All right, so first off, take it and lay it like you want it, which is going to be like that. So I know I can go ahead and cut this excess off. And now what I want to do, before I put that on, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this other strip across the top. Now, I've left enough, as you can see here, so it's not going to interfere with this here. Okay, that's not going to, there's no interference with sewing over that. All right, let's sew this let's sew this strip on and this strip on, just the bottom. Make sure that your white is going outward on the bottom. Let's put those together now. We're going to make sure it's like that, okay? We're just talking about cleaning our house just now. Talking about the dust. I tell you, as soon as you dust, it's right back. I don't know how to avoid it.
At work, it's the same way.
It's everywhere like that.
And not even 30 minutes later, the dust will be back. I'm like, okay, why did I just dust this if you just came right back? So I'm trying to,
Everything's like that anymore.
I think what to put on it to make it dust free. Like in the mornings years ago, we used to take cloth diapers and Pledge to wipe down the fixtures.
Yeah, but eventually the Pledge, it'll attract to the Pledge. Because that's what we used to use in the furniture all the time. I mean, that's what I grew up dusting. My mom's furniture was Pledge. And it's like, well, as soon as we got done dusting, it was right back. I mean, it smelled clean, yeah, but...
That's not why we did it.
Well, no, I know.
We did it to make the hangers when you, I don't know what the word...
Make them slick?
To make the bar slick, so when you, what I called zhuzh, when you like shake out the clothes on the hangers, that they would be a finger space apart. You wouldn't have to actually put your finger in it to have it finger space apart. You just do this with the hangers, and then they would be evenly spaced. That's why we did it, so that it would be like, it was like oiling the
Let's
the
iron
racks.
this open.
But again, that was years ago, and they don't have those kind of racks anymore. So,
Alrighty, so what we want to do is we want to take this handle and figure out where you want to put it. So you're going to want to put a little bit of lift on it right there. Okay. Yeah, it is the same exact.
fabric, not
Yes.
the same design. That's what I thought you were telling me.
It is the same design. Hold on and I'll go over there and I'll show it to you. Just a minute. I know, you think it looks like that, but it doesn't. It's not different. My gosh, girl. Okay, let's see. I think it goes from right to left. And see if 6 is wide enough. And yes, 6 does it. Okay. But it's a tight 6. So we have to be careful. And I'm just doing one at a time, y'all, just in case you're wondering, what's that crazy woman doing? All right, because I don't want to go very fast. And I have my length on 2.5. Let's knock it down to 2. Okay. I just got to be real careful. I'm going to try to keep my foot, there's a little spot right in the middle. I'm going to try to keep it in the middle to go down this yarn here. I would suggest that on the back of this, now I don't have anything on the back. Let me show you what the back looks like real quick. Okay, so looking at this, I'm going to have to take that off because it is too close to my 1/4 inch. Okay, here they both are. One with a yellow bottom and one with a red bottom. Pretty good, huh? And I went ahead and I fixed that a little bit so that I could get that 1/4 inch in. And also, if you wanted to, you could make that a left-handed cup and put that over here on this side. And then you'd have a left-handed and right-handed. Just saying. But you can use anything. You can use ribbon, anything you can come up with, you can use for the handle. I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Make a comment if you'd like. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.